We're up on the East Mountain Gate, just off the mountain road here, near the bungalow. With me is Richard from the 4x4 Club.
The Isle of Man 4-Wheel Drive Club, yes. Yeah.
And it's nice to talk to you because we've heard so much from other people about what's going on up here. Obviously, one group doesn't want anything to go on up here. We've had quite a tour here, and we can start running the pictures while we have our chat. And take us through, please, of your opinions on what should be going on up here.
Yes, what we're dealing with and what we've seen today is both the damage that's been caused in recent years on the hillside and the widening of actually the track that isn't a track. And we've also had a look at the original track and explain to you the works that we're going to do to reinstate the original track in its legal and original position.
Well, I mean, certainly there's different areas, aren't there? It's where we've seen before with the other group, what is meant to be the real route, and then you've got these people making it wider and wider all the time.
Yes, I think it's unfortunate that the individuals who have chosen to make a, should we say, a song and dance about the whole hill track issue have actually picked up on the wrong end of the stick. The track that they perceive as being in the track is not the legal track at all, and is a recent just incarnation of what has happened in recent years, where people have not gone on the proper and legal track, and the result is that the track that was perceived as a track has widened and become more and more damaged.
But you accept there's damage up here?
Yes, I accept there is damage to the hillside, but in fact not to the highway. The highway is in pristine condition. And
it's hard to explain, but the pictures may do it. Really, an overgrown track not used is actually on your maps as the official way. That goes back centuries, but it's shifted a lot at this particular point anyway.
Yes, the highways legislation provides for the public highways that were in existence in 1860 as being the route today, and what we've done is through aerial photography and overlaying of maps kindly provided by highways themselves is to easily discover where the original route was, and we've been working with highways and with DEFA, whose land this is, to re-establish the position and agree a way forward in opening it up again in such a manner as that it will cope with the traffic in the future.
I know you've been up here quite a bit recently, but even today, a lot of your posts have fallen over, which were meant to indicate the real route. I mean, this is not helping, is it? They're actually not in position much.
The posts that I was putting back up a moment ago are not on the real route at all. Therefore, if they were, they would be more reinstated in a better fashion. So yes, when the new track opens up, which will hopefully be during the course of over the summer, it will be properly waymarked, and the posts won't fall over every time a sheep walk past.
Who does this work? Yourself, or are you expecting the government to do it?
No, we don't expect the government really to do anything at all as far as this is concerned. There's a lot of, again, legislation to be put in place. We have insurance, we have to agree specifications. It's not just a question of turning up and doing what you want to on a public highway. Nobody can do that anyway. So it's agreeing the way forward, a specification. Volunteers, originally it was just the 4-Wheel Drive Club that was doing this type of work, and we've done it on 4 tracks successfully to date. Not alone, government have been involved, highways have been involved with the Clarum track and the Mackled Mountain track, but we've put a section of Sky Hill back again to where it used to be, and that's working well. Here though, we're now widening it, and we have a lot of volunteers from the motorcycling community, and we're in the process of organising, and through probably social media, it'll be calling on as many volunteers as possible to come and do the work.
Needless to say, you've shown the group who are against all this, and they don't like it at all, do they?
No, they're set in their opinions, and they quite simply don't want to see anybody up here at all other than people on foot. So anybody with a wheel is to be excluded, and they don't seem to be changing their opinion, notwithstanding the review by government, which took place over the last sort of 6 months or so, and even the strategy when it's published. They're still not accepting it.
You yourself bring over people, do you? I mean, is this a bit of a tourist thing for the Isle of Man or not?
From a 4-wheel drive point of view, it's not anything that we advertise, but if people come to the island, we will host them rather than let them try and pick their way and, as seen here, end up going in places that they really shouldn't have been, albeit innocently.
So you guys are going to put a lot of work in here restoring this. I know that, you've got shots of you in your wellies because it's the original track's flooded in places, but there are places where it can drain off, but they just got blocked up over the years, haven't they?
Yes, the track itself, the original route, is easily identified when you know what you're looking for. All the drainage channels off it are easy to identify. I have now identified them all. They've all been approved, so we'll be re-establishing those and addressing the surface and the ruts as necessary as we go along, and installing waymarkers again.
If it all goes to plan, what you're saying, and you get it reinstated and it stops people going over these other areas, will it all just make itself right eventually?
Oh yes, the ruts will remain unless DEFRA decide that they're going to do something with it, and they have different options. We might well use some of the spoil that we get out of the initial track. You can use heather as well to block up tracks, and the silt builds up and it soon grasses over. Again, as we've seen on the proper track, it melds into the countryside really quite quickly.
So should we go back this time next year and do an update?
I'll quite happily do that, and I hope you see a big difference. There are other areas that you can already see the difference that we've made, and want to continue it, and at a pace.